I come not to praise Doctor Who, but to bury him.
Idea with that.
It was an absolute disaster.
This episode nearly made me break my 21 years of sobriety.
People had the audacity to clap at the end of it, probably because they were relieved more than anything else. I'm shouting, don't clap that! Do not clap that!
It was the most deflated I've felt at the end of a Doctor episode ever.
Empire Death retroactively ruined season 1, but I feel like this burned down the whole RTD2 era and salted the ground. I don't think that it can come back from that.
So it is the end. I just can't believe it. I just think that is the coffin.
You had one job, Russell. In my reaction to Wishworld, I said, Russell, don't mess it up. And what did you do?
What did you do?
If I listed you everything that was wrong with this episode, we would be here till I died of old age.
That wasn't the Rani, that was the Master in a red jacket. That just wasn't the Rani. That wasn't a Rani plot. They'd done the Rani dirty after they ruined the character by just throwing one of them away and having the other one just run. They didn't resolve the fact that the Rani hated herself. We got one scene of Mrs. Flood grumbling, and that was it. Why didn't we get a fight between those two, or literally anything? Why wasn't Ruby resolved? I know if I don't say that, my friend will kill me. Why wasn't Ruby's stuff resolved with the whole hidden song, her mum apparently being in some way anomalous? Why can she say, like, why wasn't any of that resolved? Why was Poppy at all? I didn't care. Why was any time wasted on Poppy? What was Poppy? Why was Poppy? That could have been cut. We did not need Poppy. I'ma say it. We didn't need Poppy.
We didn't need a lot of things.
It's a mess, but I love it.
It's a mess and I hate it.
I was never not entertained. I genuinely did enjoy it until the last few seconds. Did you like Power of the Doctor?
I did kind of like the Power of the Doctor.
This is Power of the Doctor. It's a mess, but it's a beautiful mess.
No, this is Love and Monsters, which is just a mess for the sake of being a mess.
No, Love and Monsters is great on every
level.
level.
Love and a lot of monsters.
Every level, Love and Monsters is great. To compare this to that.
Well, yeah, sorry, if we're going to bring back former characters that we didn't need to bring back, just bring back Peter Kay. Bring back the Absorbaloff.
No, bring back Elton.
Bring back Elton. Find out what did he do to that pavement. I don't know.
We know what he did.
I report to you as the Lord President of the Glasgow Doctor Who Society on this sad day that I cannot believe it is the end of time.
Yeah, and as a new member of the Doctor Who Society, I can't believe I've joined at the end of time.
Yeah, you just joined at the exact wrong moment.
Yeah, I look forward to coming to a load of discussions about how Doctor Who's going to be revived.
I like seeing Anita again. I liked how they reincorporated the Time Hotel because that was probably the best part of Joy to the World.
There's like so many nice moments sprinkled in, like the bit with Anita and the doors, and like her going through the different doors to find like the doctors, and then you see Pertwee and Smith. I just thought that was really cool.
And then she just held a door for the rest of the episode. Yeah, I guess that's what Stephen Moffat came back to look at in the script. Like, that looks good. She's on the door. Cool.
I just loved like the Doctor just trying to get everyone back, and then like fighting the big bone creatures. I still don't get why there was big bone dinosaur things.
So they could have a swivelling building and a laser fight. What more do you need them for? You know?
Oh, I did like the laser fight.
Till Omega, I was actually like, do you know what? This isn't amazing. I quite like it, and unlike quite a lot of people, I quite like the battle with Unit and the Bone Beast. That felt quite climactic.
I enjoyed that. I thought had a climactic finish.
I kind of liked how the unit tower turned into Deep Space Nine all of a sudden.
A lot of people were looking for a climactic finish in the sense of like that big season 2 finish with the Doctor saying goodbye to Rose, and it was like a big personal finish. But I think the unit one worked because it was a big set piece in the action sense as opposed to the character sense and the emotional sense.
So I was a little bit disappointed when we were watching that giant setup of the ship's steering wheel. I was kind of hoping it would turn into a giant like robot and start fighting. That's what I was hoping for.
Just turns into Pacific Rim.
Just like, if you're gonna go ridiculous, go very ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what? I agree.
It's just like, it might be the last episode, just go all out.
Just have Terry Sunday managing the giant robot. That would be amazing. Could you?
Or give Rose something to do, because they brought her back from Oblivion, and then she's like, oh, then she has 3 lines.
When the Rani arrived in Unit HQ, and like
I really enjoyed that.
I loved that. That whole interplay was great. It felt really good. It felt correct, and it felt character driven, and it felt also really Doctor Who.
The Rani had such a great moment in the unit, Unit HQ. It was just like so cool, and like she like commanded the room. I loved it.
Yeah, and I like that moment between the Rani and Melanie. That was really satisfying.
I liked the scene where Mel called her out as being apathetic. I liked the scene where the Rani called Poppy contaminated. There's an almost kind of like eugenicsy feel to that, where she's obsessed with Time Lord purity. That feels like the Rani, because eugenics is evil science, and the Rani is an evil scientist.
Exactly.
That could have worked, but we didn't get that.
Well, I see that bit where he was talking to Ranis about like Time Lord's being sterile. I thought, for God, for sure, we were getting limbs. I was sitting there like, oh my God, there's no way he's gonna do it. Like, it wouldn't have saved the episode, but at least I could have respected the audaciousness.
Yeah.
Like, you are making limbs canon now, and he didn't do it. He tried to tie it into the Timeless Child.
Yeah.
Or the Timeless Child in that episode, and it was like Ko-Samus's genetic bomb was what made the Timeless sterile. Oh my God, just make the limbs canon. It's easier. It'd actually make more sense, and it'd be easier to explain. It'd be better than that. I don't know how we've got to this point. They're bringing in stuff from books from the 90s. They'd explain plot points better.
And I just feel like with the whole Mrs. Fudd thing, like this whole time I'm like, I don't really like this. This better be leading to something. And then it was like, oh, okay, that was so meh. And like, she could literally have been anyone and it wouldn't have mattered for the plot.
There was 2 of them, and I think they were both wasted.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened, because at first I thought Anita Dobbs was getting a bit shafted, but I was kind of liking the other Rani, and then she just gets eaten by Omega.
What do you think of how the Rani was used?
The Rani wasn't used.
Yes, they were.
The Rani was gone for the final third of the episode. That's too long.
I've always loved scientist characters, especially like evil mad scientist. So like, the Rani is right up my alley. And as much as I didn't love the bi-generation, I did like the 2 castings. I thought both of them could have done very well. But it was wasted.
And what a waste of Omega, who's a villain with his own set of shit going on, but basically it was a generic CGI thing that might as well have been Sutek again.
I said don't mess it up, Russell. Don't mess it up the same way you did Sutek. And what did you do?
Or we're going to get an interesting, cool guest actor playing Omega and making him a really interesting villain. No, it's a big Halloween skeleton.
Yeah, big CGI monster. Yeah. It's Sutek Mark II.
It's Sutek Mark II. Yeah. And you're just like, what? I mean, I was in the cinema when I saw it.
Same, yeah.
Oh right, yeah. And then like the moment that giant hand came round that door, I just heard this audible sigh of despair.
I didn't know what to expect when that vault was opening. I didn't know if it was going to be a person or some.
It was a big crowd.
CGI, some CGI in the vein of Hagrid from the Philosopher's Stone PS1 game.
Which it was.
Essentially, yeah.
It was so bad. It was beautiful.
once Omega appears for me, that's when it really goes downhill. Because after that, I just don't care. You killed the Rani after not even doing her properly, so yeah, I just don't even...
Because they built up Mickey Flood with a well-established actress and a very well-established soap actress and did phenomenal work to then do nothing with her at the end. She had two moments. The scene from last episode with the sideways and the scene where she goes bye.
We might be the only people that will think this, but how the Rani got defeated,
I actually liked it.
I liked it as well, because it's that hubris thing. Because it's like, haha, my creation has come to life, but the creation you created has now destroyed you, and I liked that. I thought that was quite fitting.
Omega had less than a minute of screen time and was kicked back to the Underverse.
Everyone always theorizes that any character who we don't know about, it's like, are they the Rani? Are they Omega? And then RTD just brings them back and just like, it's like, all right, Omega eats the Rani. And then the Doctor kills Omega with a gun.
They brought people back, and then you didn't give them a lot to do, which I was like, I would have liked them to have done more with them.
What was the point of Rose Noble? So the Doctor explains that Conrad couldn't picture her as a person, but he could picture disabled people, unlike able people and all that, but not Rose Noble. And Rose Noble doesn't do anything. This is another episode with a trans character does nothing.
Later, when they were looking for Poppy, or rather when Ruby was looking for Poppy, she was like, oh, there's someone missing. I'm like, yes, Rose is missing. She was here, and then she disappeared, and no one said anything.
She doesn't even have an iPad to play with in this episode.
Yeah, she can't get out the subway shuffle, so step after time for a bit. You know what I mean? Like,
I think someone has to have a word with Russell T Davies about like representation versus tokenism.
all the unit staff are just weak characters. Like, apart from Kate, just because Kate has had a bit of build up over the last few years, like across eras from Moffat to Chibnall to now.
Yeah.
Like I've said it, they're all token characters.
Yeah.
Shirley's a token disabled person, you know. Mel's a token orphan, I guess. You know, and Rose is a token trans. They just don't add anything. And I don't know what the Lynx does. He does nothing.
No one does.
And then, what the ever-loving was the last 20-odd minutes of that?
You can tell when the reshoots start.
Yeah.
Like the moment, like you said, Omega's defeated, and then it becomes a bit poppy.
I did like the whole subverting of expectations. They said they built this whole thing, and it turns out the whole episode wasn't about that. It was about the emotional heart of finding the child again.
There's one good bit where like the Doctor and Belinda keep giving like each other the jacket, and it slowly gets smaller and it disappears. I thought it was really creative.
Yeah, I like that.
But then the outcome of it was if like, the Doctor's being like to Ruby, don't say that, you're being an idiot, there's like glitches in the system, you must be having one of them.
You know, I think that one of the most fundamental traits of the Doctor is always questioning and taking the unconventional point of view and being like, no, don't dismiss this out of hand. Maybe there's something here. And there wasn't any of that.
And the Doctor is a total in this episode to Ruby. Absolutely horrible. They literally have left the reality where wishes could come true. They know that. They stated it there. And then when Ruby questions the Doctor saying there was a child there, no, Ruby, no, I'm so sorry. You know, it's you're getting confused. What a gaslighting! He should know better than that.
I just want to talk about how inherently creepy a magic appearing baby is, like, because that's what I was always focusing about, because they really want us to care about Poppy, like the manipulative music, and it's just like it doesn't work. I just think I do not care about this magic appearing baby that doesn't even feel like a real child.
And we're now expected to go along with the pathos that has just been trucked in and dumped on us.
It really feels like it was written by someone who's never interacted with a toddler, because like they do have personalities, like they have favourite toys, they have like things they like to do. Like she never speaks, that's also like That's like she doesn't make any baby noises, so it's just like strange. She never cries. Like it's she's just like she's just so creepy.
And then to consign Belinda to enforce motherhood.
Every so often he has a really conservative agenda, and what I mean by that is that he's made this big point about Conrad having this conservative worldview, like, oh no, he's prioritising the nuclear family as if that's what everybody wants, that's what's going to make everyone the most happy. But that's what he did last season with Ruby, who had been raised very happily by a really lovely woman who happened to be like a lesbian, but it's not relevant, like she's her foster mum, she's raised her. And Ruby's been raised by this woman, that's her family. And instead it was like, oh no, we need to go and find your mum and dad, who are the people who biologically conceived you, and that's the most important thing for some reason. So this was season 1, that was really regressive. But then in this season, he's again bringing this up with Conrad, oh, Conrad's so regressive. But then he's again like pushing women into this role of motherhood without them having actively chosen it.
Yeah.
It's just assumption that's going to make them happy.
That baffled me, because Wishworld I thought was meant to be a commentary on like right-wing kind of incel, like this is the best. Oh, I'm going to make the world correct, which is that every man does this, every woman does this.
Yeah.
They all have a child. It's a nuclear family. Everybody's quote unquote happy. And then in this episode, the Doctor does that for Belinda by basically making it Poppy always existed.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be like a good thing. And I don't know how one's better than the other.
Maybe that is a world where the magic appear on Baby could have worked if Belinda had been established. What if she had a personality? If it had been established that she's always wanted to be a mother and it's never happened. Even then I think I might have been a bit weird about it, but at least it would be, I would accept it more as this thing she wanted versus this weird thing that was forced to happen.
I don't know why Belinda then couldn't have just been like a mum from the start.
Yeah.
Like if they're going to do that, just say okay, she has a daughter at home she wants to get back to, from the beginning, and then when you get there, you can maybe say well, the Wishworld has kind of tied her daughter to the Doctor.
Yeah.
So now that's going away, she might go away, so I need to save her because she was real.
Yeah.
And if she goes, then that is somebody lost.
I do feel it's such a shame with Belinda because when she was first introduced in the Robot Revolution, and then even the first few episodes after that, I was like, oh, they're going somewhere with this. She's a nurse and that's relevant. She's this really caring person, blah, blah, blah. I really felt like it was going somewhere. And, over the past few episodes, I've just felt like that could be anyone. She's been barely there for about 4 episodes of this 8-episode season. And then this last episode, it was like a sort of fill in the blanks, the companion blank space becomes the mother of this unknown child. It's felt so formulaic, and Belinda was just a character who got slotted into that.
And then the only redeeming thing from that was we got Jodie.
Yeah, I loved Jodie's bit.
That's the only redeeming factor from that.
And the
Jodie
live
coming
chess.
back.
Yes, that was very good, yeah.
Justice for Jodie. I love Jodie so much. I was so happy for Jodie to come back.
And for once, Jodie, I liked Jodie in this episode.
I thought she was great. When she came on, she came on, I was like, that's Doctor Who.
Yeah.
See the way she was strutting and she was doing all the techno babble down the ramp and all that, and she was telling the 50 to do this and that.
It really didn't gel with Chibnall's writing, and it was really nice to see her come back and do something a bit.
Chibnall was trying to do his own thing, so it was nice to see Whittaker in another story outside
in a new context.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally, all of what we watched this episode was that scene.
Yeah.
I've seen the clip of it online. I just watch it again. I'm like, I'm just going to pretend this isn't a different episode, like Time Crash 2.
Wasn't really enough to save the episode.
The fact that he basically tells her, yeah, you haven't told Yaz you love her, you better give her a proper send-off. And then he gives Ruby literally no send-off.
Ruby didn't even get a goodbye. Kate didn't even get a goodbye. Mel didn't even get a goodbye.
That doesn't sit well with me as well, but I would have liked him at least say goodbye. And I also don't like the fact that Conrad got a happy ending.
Yes.
But Ruby didn't even get a goodbye.
Well, that's like life. Not everyone gets a happy ending. Often the bad guys do get a happy ending.
That's very true.
I'm not gonna lie, I clapped when Billie Piper showed up at the end. In fact, I actually led the clapping in Cineworld. And then after about 3 or 4 minutes, I reanalyzed it in my head, and I'm like, this should never have happened. This absolutely should not have happened.
I think the whole entire cinema heard me. I was that loud. I don't know a person that probably didn't hear me.
Obviously there's a bit of ambiguity, she might not be the Doctor, there might be some bait and switch. Either way, I just think it's desperate.
It felt a little desperate the last few seconds.
That is a role actors would kill for, would fight to the death to get, and they're so creatively bankrupt that they're just getting, let's get Billie Piper in again, let's they've run out of ideas.
The last time she appeared in the show was 2013. A 12-year-old could have been like a newborn the last time she was in the show.
Yeah.
Who's this for?
Fans like us will either not like it, people outside of the show will find it just kind of confusing.
Yeah.
And the only people who will be into it are people who just like the first 2 to 4 seasons of the show and then left, which I don't think is worth trying to chase.
Out of all 60 years, yes, the reused actors upon reusing actors, the certain directors, like Douglas Camfield especially, love reusing certain actors. Perfectly fine. You take a normal actor that played a minor part and put him in another minor part, no problem. You take an actor and you put him in a main part, that's the end of their line to the main part. The only other thing you can do is bring them back and stuff them behind visual effects, makeup, and everything else. You can't see them, you might recognise the voice, fine.
You know.
But the one thing you do not do is take a main character and bring them back in a main character.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to God that is some timeless, some bad rules, moment, nonsense. Because the only thing that makes sense, but when it doesn't make sense, if that is the case, why did the Doctor have to regenerate into her? That's the bit that won't make sense if it is. But it's the only thing that will make sense because I've been optimistic up to this point with everything the Doctor has done at me. But I'm sitting here now with the carpet being literally ripped from under my feet. I am so fuming, it's beyond belief.
I mean, Ncuti Gatwa is sandwiched between David Tennant and Billie Piper. It's just drivel.
He's sandwiched between 2 stunt casts.
Yeah.
The first, like kind of numbered POC, more explicitly queer Doctor is sandwiched between David Tennant and Billie Piper.
He's such a great actor, and I've done barely anything with him. He had so much potential.
Yeah.
So much potential. And it feels like a letdown.
And as I understand it, there were reshoots 4 months ago, which edited out the original. I don't know if Ncuti jumped or was pushed, I don't know.
From what I've heard, the original ending is so much better and feels so much nicer where it ties some stuff up.
Whatever the reason for it, the plot holes that were left in there, and the fact, and what happened to Ruby? Why has Susan been appearing in his dream, and why was Ruby the only one who remembered everything? None of that was clarified.
This episode is similar to Empire of Death in that they've given us a resolution, but the resolution doesn't match the clues that we were given. Because they haven't explained, like, why was Poppy in the barbershop? Why was she in Nigeria? Why was she in the barbershop episode? That's not been explained.
And also this kind of narrative gaslighting that seems to be going on with Russell T Davies in 2 seasons. First we had it with Ruby's mum going, oh, there's this big mystery, this almost this big cosmic mystery of who Ruby's mum is, and when it turns out, oh well, it's just you imparting meaning into it. She was nobody. What kind of resolution is that? Building up this huge mystery and then not paying it off.
The clues that we've been given don't add up to the solution that we've been offered.
We had it with Mrs. Flood as well. Why can Mrs. Flood break the 4th wall? Who is she? Oh, it's the Rani. Even though you have been implying throughout the whole season that she is something more.
But we're still to find out what's going on with the 4th wall breaking, in a sense. We're still to find out like what's going on with the boss. And at this point, I don't trust the RTD's actually getting set up for that.
I don't either. I think it's just, this seems cool, let's do it.
We are literally at the point now where Russell T Davies is just putting jangly, shiny things in our face to distract from the fact that the writing is subpar. I mean, we had the Rani, Omega, Susan, and now Billy Piper.
I really think Doctor Who should be a family show, so it should be accessible to new viewers. Anyone should just be able to jump in like a new season. But like, there's so many times where it just like stops and smiles at you, like, look at this reference.
I feel like, I don't know if this is because of the Disney money, but it feels like they're trying to like do the Star Wars sequel formula. And I'm like, you don't need to do that. But somehow, May Omega returned, or somehow Billy Piper returned.
I see what's happening with Doctor Who is exactly what happened with the sequels in Star Wars. It's all member berries and nostalgia, and we're expected to lap this shit up and be happy about it.
The Doctor deserved better. Belinda deserved better. Ruby deserved better. The Ranis deserved better.
Yeah.
That whole episode was made for the social media world of there's a moment, there's a moment, there's a moment, there's a moment. Where's the context?
It's like so disjointed, and like the fan service was like bad for people who will get the references, and people who won't will have no idea what's going on. And like, it's just not very accessible to casual fans right now, because like I was talking it to my sister who is just a casual fan. She has no idea what's going on. I had to explain stuff to her.
It's a whole nonsense of mess that made no sense. And I think everybody's feeling exactly the same way.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
just...
much everybody's feeling the same way. I don't know anybody that. There's very few people that actually feeling it.
I'm disappointed and I'm let down, and that's just... And that's the way the news goes. That's just how I feel.
Unlike Seamus, I'm not saying I'm going to boycott the show now, but I'm sorry, Russell, you have to go.
We're having an amazing meeting here at the Glasgow Doctor Who Society, because, do you know what? All but 4 people out of the 25 people that are here really didn't like that episode, to be honest. But do you know what? We're having an amazing night because we're all talking about what Doctor Who is, what it means to us, what we want.
This is
we
my
hope
first
for.
time at the Glasgow Doctor Who Society. And I have to say, most of the reason I came here today was because I didn't like the episode, and I needed to realise why I didn't like the episode to put it into words. I was like, I know I don't like it, but how do I put that into words? It's like, so to come and just talk to
just
people.
talk to people and get
I
out
was just like,
and hear
yes,
what
it
people
wasn't
are
good. I'm not the only one who thinks,
And in the words of Christopher Eccleston, sack Russell T Davies, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and we'll come back. So can you arrange that?
I'll come back anyway, but like, you know, he's not wrong. Eccleston for showrunner.
I commend you, my dear brother and sister, to Almighty God, and entrust to your Creator. May you return to Him who formed you from the dust of the earth. May Holy Mary, the angels and the saints come to meet you as you go forth from this life. May Christ, who was crucified, bring you the freedom and peace. May He forgive all your sins and set you among those He has chosen. Amen.